Good day, my name is Sky, and I appreciate you spending some study time with me. I'm here to help you make money in online poker by teaching you key strategies and getting you to take action. So how often should you record and analyze your statistics and your win rates? Every month? Every year? Every quarter? Maybe? I'm going to give you that answer, plus a nifty spreadsheet to help you keep track of all your numbers so you can analyze them to figure out your areas of opportunity with a little 5-step process as well. Let's get into it. Gambate!
Everybody just stay calm. I can handle this, no problem. I know how to deal. License and registration, please.
What seems to be the officer problem?
Now, I believe you should keep track of your statistics and your win rates every month, quarter, and every year. A few reasons for this. First, monthly, and it doesn't matter how many hands you play in the month. If you look at this monthly, you can see what kind of player you currently are. You might be very different this month than you were 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a full year ago. But you also want to record quarterly and annual numbers as well. The reason why I like to do it is because I kind of think of my poker play as a business. Every business wants to look at their monthly financials, their quarterly financials, and their annual financials. These financials tell you the health of your business. If you could see over the last year, over the last quarter, and the last month, you're losing, you have a long way to go, a lot of work to go to get yourself profitable. Maybe the past year you did pretty good, but the most recent quarter, you're down, and this recent month, you're down as well. You were doing good at the start of the year, but something has changed. So you can ask yourself, what went on in the past 1, 2, 3, or even 4 months that has led me on this downwards trajectory? And then you can break that quarter down into its constituent months as well to see maybe the first month of the most recent quarter, you were doing good, but month 2 down, month 3 down, and the current month down as well. Your numbers, just like for a business, just tell you where you're potentially failing, where your areas of opportunity lie. So step 0 in this process of you recording your statistics and win rates is to download the 41 Stats and Win Rates Tracker. The reason why is because you can only improve what you measure. If you don't know how often you're making C-bets, you're 3-betting, you're making check raises, you're calling C-bets, you're folding on the river. If you don't know that stuff, how can you actually improve those areas, right? The answer is you probably can't. Measurements equal knowledge of what's going on. That knowledge allows you to pursue ways to improve your results. So go to smartpokerstudy.com/pod527 to download this nifty Excel spreadsheet, 41 Stats and Win Rates Tracker. Now, the next thing you want to do is enter your statistics and your win rates for the prior month, the prior quarter, and the prior year. On that same show notes page where you can download this spreadsheet, there's a video right there that shows you exactly how to find those numbers. I am not going to actually take the time and, right now tell you how to do that yourself. Like I said, there's that video for you. But so if we look at my most recent month of January, I played 3,800 hands, 32 hours played, positive $20, and I'm playing only 10 NL right now. That's 2 buy-ins up. And my win rate is positive 5.3 big blinds. In the last quarter of 2024, October, November, December, I played 10,400 hands, 74 hours of play, not even an hour per day right there on average, positive $223 up, and a positive win rate of 21 big blinds per 100 hands. Lovely results. But if we look at my prior year, I only played 48,000 hands through all of 2024. 306 hours of cash games. I had like 70 hours or so of tournaments. So I hit my goal of 1 hour per day on average through the year, but cash games only 306. I won $461 and positive 11 big blinds per 100 hands for the entire year. So I like all of my results right here. And it's interesting how for the entire 2024, only positive 11, but for the last 3 months, I did really well, positive 21 big blinds per 100 hands. But in January right now, I'm down it's still positive 5.3 big blinds per 100 hands. And I can tell you exactly why that is in just a little bit when I start to analyze and think about these numbers right here. So what you want to do is fill out all these numbers utilizing Poker Tracker for all of your statistics and your win rates. And that's actually step number 1 in this entire process for the fill out your numbers for the prior month, the prior quarter, and the prior year. Number 2 is, are you satisfied with your numbers? Start taking a look at the number of hands played, the number of hours played, the money won or potentially the money lost, and your win rate. Are these satisfying to you? Are you on the right path? Is your journey going the direction that you want it to? Or is it veering off course? And do you need to make some necessary changes? Step 3 is to analyze your statistics. Now, it doesn't matter how many hands you've had for the prior month. I had 3,800 hands. Some people will say, Sky, that's not enough to know how you're playing. But actually, it is enough. You play online poker. If you have an opponent with 100, 200, or even 500 hands on them, you have all these statistics that tell you what their tendencies are in various situations. Can you look at their numbers over only 500 hands or even only 100 hands on the player? And can you figure out ways to exploit their tendencies? Absolutely, you can. So it doesn't matter if you only play 3,800 hands like I did or 500 hands. You could still take the time, write out your numbers or type them out into the spreadsheet and actually analyze them. When you're analyzing your statistics, ask yourself, where am I exploitable? Imagine you were looking at another player's stats right here. If I saw all these numbers on somebody else, can you see any easy exploits against this player? So if I look at my own stats right here, I'm calling 8.1% out of the small blind. For a tight player, that's rather wide. I might be trying to set mine, play too many speculative hands out of the small blind. And I can tell you right now that through January, yes, 8.1%. For me, that's way too much out of the small blind calling. I was testing various steals. I was trying to put myself into spots where I can check raise bluff more often. Also spots where I can probe on the turn and the river. So just testing out different calling pre-flop strategies to turn into post-flop steal strategies, right? Take a look at this. My 3-bet for the prior quarter was 6.5%. Rather tight. I do some bluffs, of course, but it went down to 5.2% because I was calling so much more. If somebody sees these numbers and say, holy cow, this guy's only 3-betting 5.2%, he's a rather honest 3-better. So I might want to take a look at his positional 3-bet percentage. When he makes a 3-bet in a spot when he hardly ever does it, boom, he's doing it for value. I have an easy fold. So when you look at your own statistics as if you were somebody else trying to analyze, looking for exploits, that's going to clue you in onto your areas of weakness. Now, if we look at my C-bet flop and C-bet turn statistics, currently I'm at 74% flop, 62% turn. Not so bad, a little bit turn honest, but that's not bad going from 74 to 62. It's only a 12% drop. I'm a little bit turn honest. But in the prior quarter, I was 74% flop C-bet down to 58%. That's a really easy exploit. When you see such a big drop right there, for one, I'm C-betting a good amount on the flop. I'm susceptible to check raises. So if a player sees I'm C-betting so much on flops, they should plan some check raises, especially when maybe they have decent drawing equity or even a pair, try to get value out of me because I'm going to C-bet most of the time when they check to me, right? But then look at this. I go from 74% flop to 58% C-betting on the turn. If they're in position especially, they can call me on the flop quite often with the plan of betting as soon as I check on the turn as well. So when you're looking at your own numbers and you spot those areas where they can easily exploit you, those are spots that you need to work on. You're going to improve your game with this little bit of knowledge. And like I said, even over 500 hands, 3,800 hands, some players play 20,000 hands per month. Those are all more than enough to find where your opponents can exploit you. And of course, work on those easy exploits. Now, I couldn't record these numbers without the amazing program Poker Tracker 4, but you need to learn how to do what I know how to do. So you have to get the Get More From Poker Tracker 4 course by going to smartpokerstudy.com/getmorefrompt4 course, all one word, or link in the show notes page. And I want to thank some awesome poker peeps who recently picked this up from me in order to do the same work that I do. Analyze statistics, analyze win rates, go through hands, find leaks, plug links, work on strategies. So I want to thank Stephen O'Brien, Or Uliel, Jason Hinchy, Edward Chris, Ben Cherry, Guy Brooks, Glenn Smethurst, Gabriel Sergi, David Pierre Jean, Frank Gonzalez, Graham Warren, Dale Silver, Guy Hines, Dante Nunez, James Kubek, Mike France, Leon Flissar, Kenneth Venkin, Kim Okoskimis, Gary Marriott, Carl Lukin, Heiko Quast, Ian Weiss, Marshall McGill, Mark Elson, Roland Feiner, John Hayes, Daryl Grand, Jacques Groscrews, Andreas Kotula, Jenny Toroy, Michael Hartwell, Piriacorn, Ari Aratapas, Roland Feiner, Adrian Anderson, Michael Vernier, Vili Rodrodro, Ian Gauhan, Alejandro Santamaria, Jason McCabe, Victoria Halford, and Christopher Wasson. These incredible poker beeps went to smartpokerstudy.com/ all one word right here, get more from PT4 course. They picked up this bad boy. They got all the different trackers, all the free, I guess you could say, bonus, over 200 quick filters, and the various reports contained within this course. Okay, let's get back to step 4. Now, step 4 in the process is to analyze your win rates. When you enter these down here on the spreadsheet, it automatically color codes. If it's a negative number, it's going to turn the text red and the cell color red as well. Makes it really easy to spot where you're losing money with your various plays. So what you want to do is analyze your win rates and ask yourself, where am I losing money? Are there any persistent, ugly, negative win rates over time, right? The past year, the past quarter, past month. Now, if I'm looking at my numbers right here, well, my win rates when calling, they're not so good this past month. I've increased my calling. I'm at on average, when I call pre-flop, negative 45 big blinds per 100 hands. That's kind of bad, but this is interesting. I'm negative 209 big blinds per 100 hands on the button. So every time I call on the button, and the goal behind calling, right? You're calling in the best position. You want to exploit them later, post-flop, and steal from them. Well, it's not working out. I'm at negative 209, so every time I call, on average, I'm losing 2 big blinds. Not doing really good right there. This should be positive because I'm in the best position. I have more information to work with. I get to see what they do, see their bet size, gauge how my range interacts with the board, how their range interacts with the board, and I should be able to steal more pots. But apparently, I'm not stealing like I'd like to, right? Maybe I'm not using my position to steal post-flop like my pre-flop call was intended to do. Another persistent issue for me is calling turn C-bets. Well, for the entire year in 2024, negative 832 big blinds per 100 hands. That means every time, on average, when I call a C-bet on the turn, I'm losing 8.32 big blinds. For the past quarter, negative 387, so it's a little bit of improvement. But now for the past month of January, I've been calling a lot more. My turn calling of C-bets is now negative 469 big blinds per 100 hands. I'm losing 4.69 big blinds every time I call the turn. Absolutely an area I need to work on. So, like I said, your statistics give you areas that you need to work on to fix those easy exploits they have on you. Your win rates tell you where you're losing money with the plays you make. Boom! Another area to work on to improve your overall results. Now that you've analyzed your stats and your win rates, step 5 is to get to work. Choose one thing to work on and choose the thing that you think will move the needle the most on your poker journey and in your results. Maybe if you're having a big leak for calling on the river, for example, well, you don't get to as many rivers as you get to the turn, as you get to the flop, as you see pre-flop. So generally, the things that you want to work on are things that happen most of the time. So pre-flop areas are great to focus on. Flop areas as well. Making C-bets and facing C-bets, because those are the most common types of bets you make or you face. Well, those are good areas to focus on as well. And of course, whatever you choose that you want to focus on for the next month or even the next week, if you want to break it down into shorter durations, study and play with purpose around that area. And just to recap those 5 steps real quick, number 1 was to enter your statistics and your win rates for the prior month, quarter, and the year. Number 2, are you satisfied with your numbers? Take an objective look back. Am I playing enough? Am I playing enough hands? Am I winning enough? Am I losing far too much? Number 3 is analyze your statistics. Figure out where you are exploitable. Number 4, analyze your win rates. Figure out where you're losing money. And step 5 is to get to work. Choose that one thing that's going to move the needle the most on your journey. Study and play with purpose. Please, if you like the video, please like it down below, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next one.